I walked in on him pressed against the kitchen counter with another girl, her lipstick smeared on his jaw, his hands tangled in her hair. My heart didn't break, it detonated. We'd been fighting for weeks, late night disappearances, cold shoulders, the lies stacking up like dirty dishes. I screamed at him, the kind of screaming that comes from somewhere raw, and he just stared at me, wide-eyed and pale, like he'd seen a ghost. I told him it was over. I told him to get out. He tried to explain, choking out something about not what it looks like, but I was done. I packed his stuff in trash bags and threw them out the door. The other girl slunk out silently. I watched him sob on the sidewalk, and for a split second, I almost felt sorry for him. Then I remembered every night I'd spent waiting alone, every time he'd brushed me off with a half-baked excuse, and I locked the door. A week later, his mom called. She said he was in the hospital after a breakdown. Guilt gnawed at me. I went, if only to say goodbye. When I walked in, he was surrounded by his family, but his mom, she stared at me like she knew me. And then she started asking about my childhood, about the orphanage, about the birthmark on my wrist. My stomach dropped. The whole room went silent as she pulled out a faded photograph, 2 kids, one with my eyes, the other with his smile. He was my brother. Adopted out years ago after our parents died, split up by the system. The reason we clicked, the reason everything was so intense, it all made sense and made me sick. I left the hospital shaking, thinking about every fight, every kiss, every betrayal, wondering if I'd ever trust myself, or anyone else, again.